Hello, everyone. So today we have Shreyasi. Shreyasi is a research scholar in Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, IITM, Pune, and she has completed her bachelor's in uh, physics, major in physics from University of Kolkata, and she has completed his master's from Central Institute of Rajasthan in atmospheric science. So welcome, Shreyasi.
Thank you.
So, how are you feeling about you are in such a prestigious institute, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, and it's the part of Ministry of Earth Science. So, how you are feeling being in such a prestigious institute?
Yeah, so it has always been a dream come true because while I was in my master's, since I was so much invested in atmospheric science, I always wanted to continue in this field itself. So there are not too many good options in India, but
Mm-hmm.
right now IITM Pune is one of the best options in this field in India. And
Mm-hmm.
also I had applied for like a internship project, but
Mm.
I didn't get in IITM Pune. So at that time, I was very sad. But this is now my dream come true because now I'm doing a PhD here itself. So it's like life coming to a full circle. So
Yeah, it's really good that you have applied at some point in during I think internship you told. So, but
yeah,
you didn't got that time, but now you have. So it's really good to hear earlier you haven't achieved and now you have
yeah.
achieved. It's really good. So can you tell me something about IITM, how it's different from other institution and what's the different thing is here?
Yes, yes. So we often have heard about IITs and ISers. So those
Mm-hmm.
are academic institutes. And in those institutes as well, we get the course of atmospheric science and meteorology studied, but there are very few options. There are very few IITs and ISers in which this field is explored. But
Mm-hmm.
in MOS Institute, Ministry of Earth Science, under Ministry
Mm-hmm.
of Earth Science, there are several MOS institutes. One of them
Mm-hmm.
is IITM Pune, Indian Institute of
Okay.
Tropical Meteorology. So it's a research institute instead of an academic institute. So
Mm-hmm.
you can do your PhD from here, but you
Mm-hmm.
cannot get your degree from here. You have
Yes.
to get joined in an academic body.
Mm-hmm.
From there you can get your PhD degree, but you can do the entire PhD work from here
Mm-hmm.
in this place. So IITM Pune is there, NSIS, INCOIS,
Mm-hmm.
IMD. There are several other MOES institutes, and I don't think ever in India there is any other institute dedicatedly
Mm-hmm.
researched for tropical meteorology, but
Mm-hmm.
IITM itself, and it gives you a very direct connection to ministry. So in a way, you're
Mm-hmm.
working for the government. So
Okay. I have two questions. First, can you explain a bit about what's the tropical meteorology? So
yes, yes,
the
yes.
general people might
So
aware about.
yeah,
Yeah.
meteorology, I hope everyone knows that meteorology or atmospheric science. So the weather and climate, the science of
Mm-hmm.
weather and climate that we get to see and that we are exploring, because
Mm-hmm.
in the face of climate change, this field is a very hot topic. And
Mm-hmm.
so the earth itself, there is the
Mm-hmm.
tropical belt and there is the
Mm-hmm.
extratropic and the polar belt. So in
Mm-hmm.
the tropical belt, owing to its very dynamic nature and the sun's insolation that it gets, the weather and the climate changes very dynamically, and it's very rapid. And sometimes you can see thunderstorm appearing. Sometimes there is a heat, a heat wave or something or like that other. Then there is this
Mm-hmm.
ITCZ. So owing to that, uh,
Mm-hmm.
a part of metrology we that we get to know is the tropical metrology. Here in IITM, it's
Mm-hmm.
not only tropical metrology, but it is one of the best places to study, and research is being carried on in IITM Pune because it's
Mm-hmm.
exclusively for tropical metrology. So
Mm-hmm. And my second question is about, as you have mentioned about that you have the affiliation with the other institute, or I would say the university, academic universities, institutions where you can get the degree. Like the IITM is not going to give you the PhD degree, right? So
Yes, yes.
yeah, so which university, like IITM
Huh.
is affiliated or?
So IITM intakes PhD students or
Mm-hmm.
junior research fellows in two modes, via two modes. One
Mm-hmm.
is through that you can be a research fellow and you will
Mm-hmm.
be affiliated under University of Pune, Pune University, Savitribai Phule Pune University.
Savitri
One
Bai
is
Phule. Okay.
yes, one is
Mm-hmm.
that method, and the second is that you can get your affiliation under ACSIR, the academic body for the CSIR, where
Mm-hmm.
ACSIR offers you the degree. So
Okay.
there are two methods in which you can get affiliated while
Mm-hmm.
carrying out your PhD in IITM Pune. One through Savitribai Phule Pune University,
Mm-hmm.
and the second is through ACSIR.
Okay. So you are with Savitri Bhai Phule or ACSR?
No, I have actually converted to ACSIR. So
Okay.
right now
So,
I have applied in ACSIR. My
mm-hmm.
affiliation will be in ACSIR.
Okay. So there will be the institutional fellowship, right?
Yeah,
It's.
I will get the institutional fellowship itself, but my affiliation will be in ACSIR.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, my fellowship is being offered by IITM Pune.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have CSIR-NET or if
Mm-hmm.
you have UGC-NET,
Mm-hmm.
CSIR or UGC can also give you fellowship amount.
Mm-hmm.
That way also you can get a fellowship. But I
So,
am being offered by IITM Pune.
mhm. So just for information of audience, you are GATE qualified in
Yes, yes.
atmospheric science field, right?
Yes, yes. In XC, Engineering Sciences, there
Mm-hmm.
are two papers, two optional papers that I
Mm-hmm.
opted for. One was thermodynamics and one
Mm-hmm.
was atmospheric sciences. So
Mm-hmm.
XE paper. So
Okay.
I give that.
We will come into this part later, like how these GATE and NATE will cover the atmospheric science as a whole, and also we would also going to discuss about how the PhD is one, if one can look into that PhD, then how one can achieve it. So what are the things that keep in mind? So we will going into detail here, but maybe we can start with the starting phase of master student, like if one can have secure as a secure master's course in some institutions, maybe it may be for the, it may be some IITs or NITs or maybe in any central universities. So so I think maybe can you can you explain a bit about or maybe can you, if you are aware about that, can you take a name of the university which offered the MSc in atmospheric science or in
Yes,
meteorology?
yes.
Yeah.
In Central University itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the Central University of Rajasthan. You can get a
Mm-hmm.
degree from their MSc Atmospheric Science. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the place from which I got my MSc degree. And
Mm-hmm.
other than that, you have the option of Savitribai Phule Pune University.
Mm-hmm.
They also offer the atmospheric and space sciences degree. MSc
Mm-hmm.
and MTech also they offer. And other than that, you can get from IITs
Uh,
as well. IIT
mm-hmm.
Kharagpur is there. Then
Mm-hmm.
IISER is there. IIT
Mm-hmm.
Delhi is there. The
Mm-hmm.
IISER Pune, IISER Bhopal. From there, you
Mm-hmm.
can do BSMS degrees. And
Mm-hmm.
then IIS Bangalore, obviously, there is that because they have
Mm-hmm.
dedicated centers for atmospheric science research there in IIS Bangalore. So you can do it
Mm-hmm.
from there as well. And Andhra University is there actually. Andhra is very
Yes. Yeah.
famous. Andhra
Mm-hmm.
Andhra is a good thing. And Kerala University also, if not atmospheric science, they have other climate change programs
Oceanic
as well.
science or
Yes,
something.
ocean and climate change
Mm-hmm.
programs as well
Mm-hmm.
they do offer. So we
Mm-hmm.
can see that.
And also the Kolkata University also have the course,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
For the meteorology.
Calcutta University also they offer the MSc Atmospheric Science and Oceanography. They also have Marine
Hmm.
Science
Hmm. Hmm.
MSc.
And also the Banaras Hindu University, BHU,
Yeah, yeah,
also have.
BHU, but the degree is in the case with BHU is that that's a 3-year program, that is MSc MTech
Hmm.
program, and it's
Hmm.
a geophysics program. So
Okay.
you can take your specialization after that, but the
Hmm.
program is geophysics. So you can
Yeah.
also apply through that as well.
Yeah. So there is also possibility to have the meteorology specialization.
Yes,
with
yes,
the-
yes, that is
Okay.
a possibility there.
Okay. So as we have discussed a bit about the affiliation, so I just want to mention here for the audience, there are some institutions like as IITM, like the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD, or NCMRWF, or other institutions what you have named. So they all offer the PhD positions, but they at the same time they have to register, like the person who is going to complete their PhD from the IMD, they have to register somewhere in some institutions. So for the IITM, as you have mentioned, the Swatibai Phule University, and for the IMD and NCMRWF, one can register into the IIT Delhi. So that might be the possibility, but it can be the optional thing, like the optional thing, it means that you are going to have some options that in which university you want to register. So it's really depend on the scientist and really depend on the time where you are enrolled. It's depend on those things. So just for the information of the audience, would you like to add something more in that, Shreyashi?
Yes, yes. Several institutes sign MOUs with some specific academic bodies. IITM
Hmm.
has signed MOUs with Savitribai Phule Pune University and SSIR. Likewise, I'm not sure about IMD and
Hmm.
other MOS institutes as well. IMD and CMWF, they also have signed some MOUs with other academic bodies, so they can
Hmm.
get the affiliation from there as well. So that is the whole point.
Okay, so as we have discussed the multiple central university and research institutions, and also the IITs, NITs, ISERs, or ISC Bangalore. So if one, like, this podcast maybe can be fruitful for the student who are studying into the master's course in their university, which we have named. So can you give a suggestion, or can you explain how one can look into their MSc course, or maybe how they should prepare, or how they should prepare their mind to go for the PhD options after completing the masters? But I can also add one more point here. No, not everyone is willing to have the PhD degree. Maybe one can look into the job after completing the masters. So what one can make a mindset, like, during their master's degree? Can you explain, because you already have come across this phase, right? So how do you think to give an suggestions to that
Hmm.
students?
So first of all, uh, students who are enrolled in masters in atmospheric
Mm-hmm.
science, so I
Mm-hmm.
would give a suggestion first is that if you're in this field, you should try for more internship projects first.
Okay.
So internships can be in from other universities, IITM, for
Mm-hmm.
example, or other MOS institutes, NCMRWF, INCOIS. So
Mm-hmm.
these places offer a fantastic internship opportunities. Other than
Mm-hmm.
that, you can also try for IITs, ISERs, IISc Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
even PRL, NARD. So these institutes also they offer the opportunity for internships, and one can try for multiple internships if possible, because it can give you a varied kind of example. It can lead you to further realize in your in the future that which is one field one interested in. Some can be interested in hydrometeorology, some can be interested in radar meteorology, some can be interested in modeling. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
having a lot of experiences, you can that will help you to narrow down which is the way one should go in the PhD if one is trying for PhD. or one is trying to find what is my field, where is the
Mm-hmm.
where is the field where I'm feeling the most interested in, which is the one thing which can
Mm-hmm.
help me continue this PhD
Mm-hmm. As
journey
a,
or in this
yeah,
master's journey, whatever.
or
So
maybe.
it is advisable for all the students to have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
internship opportunities if possible.
Mm-hmm.
And they can try for summer internships. Sometimes they can get paid internships as well. One can go
Mm-hmm.
to the advertisements, and in the
Mm-hmm.
site itself of all the institutes that I have named before itself, they
Mm-hmm.
offer advertisement. Or if not possible,
Mm-hmm.
if there is no advertisement, they can directly
Mm-hmm.
contact the professors or the supervisors or the faculty there one interested in, and they can explore the possibility of doing the summer internship or winter internship likewise, to do there under that professor. One can contact the professor, and then
Mm-hmm.
they can know that okay, this is one field is one interested in. So I had done my internship from IIT Mandi, so it was an
Mm-hmm.
experience which is very nice. So I did
Mm-hmm.
in atmospheric chemistry, but this
Okay.
aerosols. So that was
Mm-hmm.
also a very different field from which I am working in now. But then again, atmospheric science is an interdisciplinary field. So a lot of experiences will help you understand. It's not a one-way interaction, it's like both ways interaction. Suppose you want to remain in one field, but then again you explore the other fields, and then you know this thing is also affecting that field. So
Mm-hmm.
one should have a very open mind and have the thing that I should explore all the possible options. And going into PhD next, to the next point I'm coming, one should be very sure whether one wants to pursue PhD or not, because it's a
Okay.
5 year long commitment. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I understand people can be very much like, oh, I'm getting money, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
since it's a 5 year long commitment and you have to dedicatedly pursue research in this field, one should have a certain passion in their minds and in their hearts, since
Mm-hmm.
it's a long year and long time period. So first is figuring it out whether I want to do PhD or not, and
Yes.
second is that where I want to do PhD, whether I want to do PhD in India or in abroad.
Mm-hmm.
If one is trying for PhD in India, since it is
Mm-hmm.
mandatory for PhD candidates to have NET or GATE qualifications, so one should focus in that perspective as at first. But
Mm-hmm.
then again, if one is not interested in pursuing PhD in India, but is trying for
Mm-hmm.
abroad, for example,
Mm-hmm.
in Europe, since you know it
Mm-hmm.
well, since you
Yeah.
also have that idea,
Yeah.
so yeah, so you can also say that the concept of net gate doesn't come into play that much. The
Mm-hmm.
concept then goes into now having a lot of very project experiences, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
papers. This kind of experiences matter a lot when you're trying to do PhD in abroad. For example, in Europe, but then again in America, one has to go to give that entrance examinations. For example, what was the name again? You can,
GRE
yeah,
or IELTS
GRE,
TOEFL.
yeah, IELTS,
Mm-hmm.
TOEFL. This kind of
Mm-hmm.
examinations one has to give and sit for.
Mm-hmm.
But in Europe, that is not really mandatory these days, since you also know.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Yeah.
value a lot about the experiences that you have, papers, whether it's project internships or project
Mm-hmm.
fellow, whether you were or not. So this kind of
Mm-hmm.
experiences count there in abroad, in Europe
Mm-hmm.
specifically. But in
Mm-hmm.
India, GATE and NET is
Net good.
more important here, since it's a
Okay.
eligibility criteria.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let's stick with the PhD options in India for the time being. So, as you have mentioned, that the internship will play a role to figure out in which field you are interested. And as I was also about to ask you about how one can look into the internship option, but you have already mentioned that one can see from the website of different institutions. If one can wants to have the internship, then one should have to look the several times into the different institutions website to be updated. And also that you can also have mentioned that people can people can mail directly to the potential supervisor in with which like one can think to have their internship,
Yes.
like the potential scientist, or it might be the professor of any IIT or ISER. So it's really depend on how and which topic you are interested in. So as you have mentioned that you have completed your like you have done your internship in atmospheric chemistry, but I think right now you are not doing your uh, PhD in that
No,
topic,
no,
right?
no,
You are
no. I have, yeah.
yeah, you are in the
Yeah, I have
different.
switched
Yeah.
a different fields. Actually, in my masters, I did internship projects from IIT Mandi. So they
Mm-hmm.
have a environmental engineering lab there, and
Mm-hmm.
there I have worked in aerosol
Mm-hmm.
radiation interaction. I have worked in that. But
Mm-hmm.
that lab basically also works in atmospheric chemistry dedicatedly. So it
Mm-hmm.
gave me a perspective of the aerosol climate and all that, things about aerosols. So that was very fruitful for me. But then again, in my dissertation itself, again I switched a lot of fields because in atmospheric science there is no one field. I feel like if you're dedicatedly trying to do something in one field, it's okay, but one needs to
Mm-hmm.
have a open mind in other fields as well because it's a very interdisciplinary field. So in my
Okay.
dissertation itself, I have worked in modeling
Mm-hmm.
and radar metrology itself and satellite data as
Mm-hmm.
I have also used. So then
Mm-hmm.
again, you can see the huge switch that I did. But right now, I have changed from that radar metrology field and I've come into climate variability and prediction. Right now, I'm exploring the field of large scale atmospheric flows and teleconnections and
Mm-hmm.
S interaction, all that things that I'm trying to work in now. So
Mm-hmm.
that is a
And in which working group you are working in IITM, if you want to
yeah,
share?
so actually in IITM there are several groups. There is
Mm-hmm.
modeling group, there is cloud group, there is thunderstorm group, and there
Mm-hmm.
are many groups actually, subgroups and
Okay.
groups and projects
Mm-hmm.
also. I am working
Mm-hmm.
in climate variability and prediction group. So
Okay.
CVP group. So each group has a project director, and under that many scientists work there, and they
Okay.
take many potential PhD candidates.
Okay. So under those scientists, there might be the multiple PhD students or maybe the postdoc also, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Postdoc and
Okay.
PhD and project students as well. So,
Okay, as you have already mentioned about the internship, so I have one quick question for this. So as you have mentioned that one can look into the different websites of the institutions, but is there any platform where one can look directly the advertisement? Is there any platform?
actually, I have not explored that possibility, but what I think is that there is this sudden month of in the summer internship during that May and April, May, June, one starts to like institutions like IITM Pune itself and
Hmm.
INCOIS and NCMWF, they give out advertisements. Even NARL
Hmm.
also, NARL,
Hmm.
PRL, they offer
Hmm.
summer project opportunities to budding students in MSc students. So one
Hmm.
can go into the site and one can see all the advertisement. One can fill for that in whichever field
Hmm.
they like, or if it is not possible in this way, one can go and like I said, and pursue the professors and supervisors and then try for
Okay.
internships.
This is my second question about how if you are applying to any professor via mail, then how they are responded or not, like if
Oh
you are
yeah,
applying,
yeah.
if
They
you
are
are,
very
yeah.
they are very welcoming actually. I must
Okay.
say because this is a field, it's a growing
Mm,
field, atmospheric science. So
Mm-hmm.
always they get interested and intrigued by the fact, oh, students are trying to approach us. So they
Mm-hmm.
welcome you with open hands. So, and they are like, oh, you work on this, oh, you work on that. And
Mm-hmm.
I encourage people to like apply and contact supervisors and professors, and not to feel shy, and just directly email them if they want to, and just say that they are wanting to work in this field if the professor
Mm-hmm.
is in that certain field, and then one can really work on some internship problem.
So it means they are very
Yeah, they
responsive,
are
like
very
while
welcoming.
applying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but is there any, like, based on your experience, do you have any experience that you have mailed multiple times to any professor, or he or she didn't reply? You don't have to take a name, but do you have any experience? Because there might be some student who can watch this, and they are starting applying, and it might be possibility that they don't have the reply from them, maybe not
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
frequent,
Many a
so
times you
they
will
might.
get,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Say, like, many a times you will get that, okay, professors are not replying. It's okay. I would say
Hmm.
that not to feel sad or burdened because of that, but to keep
Hmm.
trying. It's not the end of the world. And it's like, if you're, suppose you're trying in radar field, for example, if you're pursuing one professor in one institute, if they are not replying after several tries, it's okay.
Hmm.
You can try in other institute, and then you can, it's, there is no personal vendetta. They are not doing any
Hmm.
kind of these things. It's just that they might
Okay.
not be interested, or maybe things are not going like how you are wanting to. So it's okay, but
Hmm.
one should not feel burdened by that. And I have not personally gone through this kind of experience during my internship.
Hmm.
But while I was trying for abroad, in one time, I was trying for abroad for
Hmm.
PhD. That time, as you
Hmm.
also know, because you have
Hmm.
that experience, you have
Yes,
to,
yes.
you cannot back down. You will
Yep.
face several
True. Completely
kind
agree.
of failures, and you will, yeah, you will face several rejections, but that's not
Yes.
the end of the world.
Yes, definitely. If you are not doing anything, then it's really not good. But if you are doing something, or and you are rejecting, like you are failing, or you are finding a kind of demotivation based on that, so it's kind of learning. You don't have to be like this. You
Yeah,
have to be
exactly.
come across with these things also, while you have something after that, definitely you are going to have something, while lots of
Yes.
after lots of rejection. So I have to ask one more thing about, is that something with, if you have worked somewhere with something like in your internship, or you have done some kind of small project in your university, and after that you are applying for any kind, for you are mailing to any professors, is that going to be some impact, like after doing some work, you have mentioned in that mail that I have done this, and after that there might be the professor more welcoming, or before doing a work there might be not more welcoming. So
Yeah, yeah,
do you
yeah.
think,
That
is
is
that so?
definitely a, that definitely is a point that one needs to keep in mind. So experiences count everywhere. So if one time you have done some kind of internship project, suppose on Arctic, or
Hmm.
suppose on any kind of modeling. So the
Hmm.
next time where you're applying, so that added experience will help you in that, and you can definitely play it to your advantage, saying that you already have this kind of experience, and you are trying to, for the next time you're trying to work in this field, you're trying to do this kind of solve, trying to do this kind of problem you're trying to solve.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that will be a, obviously will be a added bonus to your advantage. Actually, I think I will add one thing, that after my masters, I have worked in um, IIT Indore
Hmm.
in Department of Astronomy, Astrophysics, and Space
Yeah.
Engineering as a junior research fellow. So
Hmm.
at that time, I didn't have GET on it, but
Hmm.
since I have had the opportunity of working in radar metrology and modeling in my
Hmm.
dissertation, master's dissertation,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got to know ki, okay, they're searching for someone who is made fit for radar field. So
Mm-hmm.
my previous experience was
Yes.
my added advantage in my
Mm-hmm.
case.
Mm-hmm.
So they took me, even if I didn't have that net or get at that time, but
Mm-hmm.
still they took me.
Yeah.
And yeah, just as I said, experiences count
Yeah.
everywhere. So
So I was about to come on this topic about the internship, that internship makes you connections, right? The connection is
yes,
really
yes.
important in the
Yeah.
research field particularly
Yes,
because
yes. In
there
this
are,
field,
yeah,
it's very important.
yeah.
I feel because the more you make connections, the more opportunities you will feel like opportunities and gateways and pathways are opening for you, because
Hmm.
in the amount of conferences or workshop, the internship, this kind of thing, a lot of things that you're doing, this will
Hmm.
help you make connections, bridge the gaps between you and certain people at high level. And
Hmm.
it will like make an opportunity for future collaborations as well, because
Yes.
suppose you're trying to work on something project, and that
Hmm.
person that then gets reminded, oh, this person is fit for this because I have worked in with this person in a prior
Hmm.
time. So
Hmm.
that way the opportunities get broadened, and it will help you have future collaborations in this field. So
Hmm.
obviously internships are a pathway of making like good connections with good people
Okay.
in the higher posts.
Mhm. So there is also the one possibility comes. It's really depend on the university, in which university you are doing your masters, and how flexible they are to offer you or to make you free to go out and have the internship. So do you have anything in your mind to say on this regard?
Yes, exactly. Not all institutions or universities, I do not feel they are that much lenient in offering, because the coursework might get hampered because of that. But then again,
Mm-hmm.
during the summer break and winter break, I advise people to seek out for opportunities, internship opportunities, because that time, anyways, the university or institute are closed because of the holidays. So
Mm-hmm.
that's prime time one can explore the possibility of applying in internships. Mostly they allow for one or two times in institutes like our institute, Sivraj and all. But
Mm-hmm.
some places or universities, they even allow students to do the dissertation or master project in other big institute as well. That was not the
Mm-hmm.
case for my institute, Sivraj, but I have
Mm-hmm.
known other places. I have friends from Calcutta University who have done their
Mm-hmm.
dissertation master project from NCMR
Mm-hmm.
WF in collaboration with
Okay.
in
Mm-hmm.
COIS or in
Mm-hmm.
IND. So that's a good opportunity as well. So it depends.
Mm.
Obviously, it depends on the institute or university or affiliated in. So
And it's also one more thing here that people can not only look for the physical internship, it can be the possibility to have the
online
remote
internship.
internship.
Yes, yes, yes. That's
And
true.
yeah.
Actually, during this COVID time itself, this COVID brought with many cons, but there were like certain pros as well with COVID, is that it just opened a pathway of remote
Remote work.
internships
Mm.
and this kind of online collaborations and online projects. This kind of things flourished during the time of COVID, and still it's now going on. During the time of COVID itself, IITM Pune offered internship, online internship during the summer
Mm.
time. So
Mm.
if one is not able to do that from offline, like that site internship, one can
Mm.
like explore the possibility of online internships as well.
Mm. Okay. Coming to workshop or any kind of training or any kind of conferences. So as you already have mentioned that these might make you to have the good connection, but like how it really important to have this while you're in masters, or maybe you can also say some of the things if you have any experience to having these workshop conferences during your masters, and how it can impactful while searching for the job, or maybe searching for the any PhD options or internship.
Yes. Actually, internships are and workshops, they are a excellent opportunity to help you get accustomed or get you know what really is the topic which is going like going the
Hmm.
most, or
Hmm.
it's like the hot
The,
topic in this field right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that is a
Trending one.
very, yeah, that's a very important thing that workshops and conferences offer to students. Not only that,
Hmm.
it's like a, suppose you are going to a workshop in monsoon, so it will
Hmm.
open various amount of pathways that you can get to know that you will not have a one-dimensional look to monsoon, but have a multi-dimensional look to monsoon, and it will
Hmm.
help to get you to know that okay, one can have so many options,
Hmm.
modeling, and then now the
Data
field
science,
of
ML.
AI and data science,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
So are really coming into this field as well. So
Hmm.
that's a very rising thing in this field as well. So that is one thing with workshops and conferences. In my masters, I had applied for one workshop in ICTS in Bangalore.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
ICTSTI for Bangalore. So it was a
Hmm.
pedagogical program on this climate science and weather thing. So
Hmm.
and modeling itself. So it was a week long pedagogical program, and it's very refreshing to know ki, what are the different perspectives and what are the
Hmm.
things that scientists and researchers have to say about this field. So it helps you to get, it intrigues you, really it intrigues you, and it helps
Yes,
you to
true.
know ki, what is one field that one is interested in and one wants to pursue in PhD as well. So from
Yeah.
here it branches out. There are several
Mhm.
branches, and one will help, one will know that okay, this experience will count. Not only that, you can do poster presentations, oral
Hmm.
presentation. So these experiences always count, and listening to different genres of programs, like
Hmm.
in whether in modeling, or whether in
Yeah.
satellite,
Hmm.
whether in monsoon, or this kind of polar studies or climate change studies. So they
Hmm.
provide a very varied outlook to our field.
Yeah. So based on my experience of about the workshop, and also I would say it's really going to refresh your mind what you was thinking, and after that what you are thinking. So it's really going to change the perspective of
Yes,
the topic or the subject as a whole. So I would really recommend if one can have the opportunity to have such kind of internship on workshop, and it's really going to change you how you think for your like how you maybe proceed for your master thesis, or how you may proceed for your internship further. Maybe it can be the other as we have discussed the multiple internship opportunities, one can look into that, then it can be the options. Okay, and coming to the master thesis, as you have mentioned that these workshop options going to have the some kind of update in your mind about the topic and all. So definitely these is going to play an important role to selection of the topic of your master thesis. So my question from you is, what is your master thesis already? But you have already explained something about the radar meteorology and modeling thing that you have, but maybe you can go into a bit detail, and why you have selected this topic. Can you also have to please mention this, and and is there any other thing one can think before selecting the MSc thesis topic, or one can also look into the MSc thesis topic onto the other institutions, not only in their institute. So is this is the also possibility, and if it is, then how it can be flexible based on the different university, or maybe you can also tell based on your experience if you have anything like this.
So first part is that in my master's, in the dissertation project that I did was on radar meteorology, thunderstorms,
Mm-hmm.
and I have utilized the satellite as well. So in two different areas, like in continental area and in coastal area. So
Mm-hmm.
thunderstorms, how and what are the differences in the characteristics of thunderstorms that I have explored using
Mm-hmm.
radar data, satellite data, and modeling. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, the field of radar is a very rising field, and it's a very important field as well, because
Mm-hmm.
when you see the coastal India and the amount of radar network that IMD and MOS
Mm-hmm.
they have just like played along with the entire coast of India. You can see the entire coast is filled with the radar network now. Radar
Mm-hmm.
is one thing which is very important in forecasting, like in
Yes.
nowcasting actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like
True.
in 6 hourly update, if there is a thunderstorm coming, or if there is a cloud burst coming, or if there is some rainfall activity that is going to
Mm-hmm.
happen, so this
Mm-hmm.
kind of information we can get through radar. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why IMD itself has, since cyclone is a big thing in the
Mm-hmm.
particularly in the Bay of Bengal area and that coast as well, in the eastern part of the in the eastern peninsular part of India.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there are a huge network of radars in that part as well. But in
Mm-hmm.
western part also there is, and recently IMD is trying to have a radar mosaicing, that is like that with mosaicing of radars with multiple radars they're trying to create products. They're doing nowcasting, they're doing rainfall measurement and all that thing they're doing with radar. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, the aim of IMD is to cover the entire India with their radar
Mm-hmm.
network. In Northeast also they're developing a radar network itself. In the mountainous region as well, they're trying to establish a network of radars.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I got interested in radars because I felt this is a very rising field, and
Mm-hmm.
at that point of time I felt I wanted to work in this field of radar and
Mm-hmm.
explore the characteristics of thunderstorms through the lens of radar, and as well as modeling as well. So
Mm-hmm.
modeling is one thing. Why people do modeling is that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they have to understand the physical phenomenon what is happening. First is that, and next
Mm-hmm.
is obviously the prediction part. Without
Mm-hmm.
prediction, atmospheric science is nothing. So
Yes.
because as we know that prediction is a huge thing in our field. The what is
Mm-hmm.
the weather going to, how is the weather going to be tomorrow, or
Mm-hmm.
for the next 5 days, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe seasonal forecasting, or
Mm-hmm.
this mid-range. So there's forecasting is like a huge thing in our field.
Mm-hmm.
Prediction is a huge thing in our field.
Mm-hmm.
So I utilized modeling as well in my study.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing with workshops and conferences is that it helps you get updated on the latest things which is happening. So
Mm-hmm.
that way I got interested in radar field because I had
Mm-hmm.
done few of online internships as well. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
online conferences as well. And
Mm-hmm.
from there I got to know, okay, this is one field. This
Mm-hmm.
radar metrology is one field which is rising in the recent times. So I
Mm-hmm.
utilized the radar field and the modeling part as well. And
Okay.
that's how I ended up doing that. And
Yeah.
coming to the next part, doing dissertation in different new
Mm.
like
Institutions.
institutes as well.
Mm.
Mm, so they can institutes might have, or supervisors or the professors that you're connecting to might have a like they might have a problem statement beforehand as well. It depends.
Okay.
If you are coming
Mm.
with your own project, with your own project problem, that is
Mm.
one thing. But if they already have a project problem or devised by their own self, that is also
Mm.
possible, because in NAR website, National Atmospheric Research Laboratory in
Hmm.
Tirupati, they have a lot of project problems given there. So
Hmm.
they encourage students, project students, and master students to
Hmm.
do this kind of studies on this topic, to do experiments on that field. PRL
Hmm.
also have that. In
Hmm.
IITM Pune as well, they have this group wise in
Hmm.
thunderstorm field, in lightning field, in
Hmm.
climate field, in maybe in chemistry field. They
Hmm.
already have some kind of uh, like project problem statements as well. But if you're
Hmm.
coming with your own, I think that is also a good idea. But you need not worry if you're not able to figure out on which field you're trying to work on.
Hmm.
You can explore this kind of like pre-even project problems as well.
Hmm. Okay, so what you have mentioned about the MSc thing, that it is depends on uh, different, like it's depend on how you update yourself with the topic. It's maybe based on your learning what you are doing in your master's course, or it may be based on kind of workshop somewhere. And yeah, after that you have to think yourself like which topic it suits you, because you are also going to learn more about the subject in during
Yes.
your master's course. In that way you are also going to find your interest, like which topic is in which topic you are interested in. And also that you have mentioned that about having the option with the other institutions for the MSc thesis. Okay, so I think you have done your MSc thesis in Central Institute of Rajasthan itself. You haven't
Yes,
explored
yes,
the other
yes,
part, but
yes.
yeah, but I don't know about that whether the university have given the opportunity to go with the MSc thesis in other institute or not. But one can definitely look into that option. One can ask to the professor whether it's the option or not. And definitely it's also the case whether which university or which institution uh, is going to look for the option of this MSc thesis, right? Because you have to also figure out where you are going before asking to your professor in your in universities or institutions. Okay. So, but after this, maybe is that anything during MSc thesis people keep in mind, like we had discussed while selecting what can be the possibility or what can people can think into the mind while selecting the topic. But after selecting the topic, people are going to work, or student is going to work on the MSc thesis. So is there anything to keep in mind to have the exposure of PhD options after MSc, or have the exposure of any kind of job in this field? So do you think, is there anything that people can keep in mind?
Yes, yes. Like after, if one is done with the PhD thesis, once one is done with the PhD, sorry, master's
MSc.
thesis,
Yeah.
MSc
Hmm.
thesis, sorry.
Yeah.
Then one needs to know that whether one is interested in exploring the PhD option or not. So
Hmm.
if that is a thing, then it's okay. But if one is not trying to go into PhD, there are
Hmm.
options for like job options as well,
Hmm.
because in private firms or
Hmm.
in government places as well, like in CPCB, this Central Pollution Control Board, in different parts of India as well, they have
Hmm.
this, they recruit like junior fellows, research fellows,
Hmm.
and they have this project posts as well,
Hmm.
scientist posts as well, so they can apply there as well, or
Hmm.
in private firms as well, in consulting firms as well. They have this environmental kind of options as well, or this CEEW, where they
Hmm.
will give you project posts,
Yeah.
or in like this
NGOs,
kind of
these are
NGOs as
different
well. Yeah, yeah,
NGOs,
exactly.
and some private firms like Reconnect Energy, Genesis Energy. These
Yes,
are the
yes,
names, or
yes.
SkyMat, or these are the
Yes,
names.
SkyMet.
Yeah,
They have meteorological officer post as well,
yeah.
and this is actually one thing that one can consider if
Yeah.
one is not trying for PhD.
Yeah.
So there are several private job
Yeah,
options as well.
but what are the thing that student keep in mind while doing the MSc thesis? Is that something with the skills, or is that something with
Yeah.
considering the topic in that direction so that it can be help to get into the job?
Yes,
Or
yes, definitely, definitely. Actually, in PhD and in jobs as well, one
mm,
values the amount of soft skills that you're
yes.
learning. Soft
Mm,
skill is a thing which is very important in our field,
mm,
because no matter how much theoretical knowledge you have, one needs to implement that.
mm,
So without soft skill, it is kind of impossible to do and to carry out this project or private jobs or PhD. So I recommend people to know about modeling beforehand if they are having that option to explore. Or other than that, they can know that software, some softwares like grads, or
mm,
programming languages like R,
mm,
Python,
Python.
Fortran. So
Mm-hmm.
these are very important. So if one knows that beforehand, it will open up many opportunities for you, and it will
Yes.
increase the chances of you getting the like positions in private jobs as well. So
Okay.
Excel, then
Mm,
grads, then
mm,
CDO, then tools like R, Python,
mm,
this languages, Python. So this kind of things really help. And
mm,
um, if you're in if you're having other like added skills, like if you are knowing how to perform with satellite data, or
yes.
with radar data,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
with suppose some hydrological models,
Mm,
then or if some atmospheric chemical like chemistry models like WRF
mm-hmm.
chem or HWRF or hurricane
Mm-hmm.
models, or
Mm-hmm.
this kind of things
Yeah.
always gets added to your CV. And
Yes.
this kind of things, recruiters search for this kind of things.
Mm,
These added skills are a bonus
yes.
to your skills, to your
Okay.
prior skills. So
Okay, that
yeah.
that's what I want to know about the what the student can have in keep in mind while doing the MSc thesis. So you just have mentioned that you have to focus on the skills. All at the same time, definitely you have the theoretical knowledge of the subject, but at the same time you should have the skills, different computational skills.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
Mm.
So coming to the after MSc, the job things, or maybe the any kind of positions, a project position into the any research institution, as you have mentioned that you had work as a JRF in the IIT Indore, right? So
Yes.
how did you find that job, and how difficult was for you to finding the job? And do you have any experience while searching it? Would you like to share that experience too?
Actually, when I was in my masters, then only I had then only I have like seen a advertisement in LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
I recommend people to search for jobs in LinkedIn. That's a good place. Other than that, if like they can subscribe to channels or pages, or
Mm-hmm.
like common sites, like common places where the departments are common, atmospheric
Mm-hmm.
science departments, like in IIT Kharagpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bangalore, IIT Indore. So if they're getting connected to this kind of institutes via LinkedIn, so they can have they can see in their feed as well that
Mm-hmm.
job advertisements are pouring in continuous.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in my masters only, and then I saw the uh,
Advertisement.
advertisement for
Mm-hmm.
that project positions.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no, just applied whatsoever. Even I didn't complete my masters at that point. But
Mm-hmm.
after I then meanwhile between like between the time period I had applied and I had gotten a call,
Mm-hmm.
I had wrapped up my masters. So
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile I had finished my masters. I even forgot about
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
advertisement. But
Yeah.
then suddenly I got an email saying
Mm.
that I got selected for the interview, and
Mm.
then I got the interview for that this post itself.
Interview call, yeah.
Yeah. So I recommend people going into the site of different institutions in ISER, in
Mm.
IIT. in different central universities as well. They have this vacancy posts of
Hmm.
different projects in their sites itself, so they can
Hmm.
search what are the posts, vacancy posts there are in our field, and
Hmm.
likewise they can search and get to know that okay, this post is there, this vacancy post is there. And
Okay.
likewise I had gotten into this
Yeah.
IT in
I
the.
will also I will also going to put your LinkedIn ID into the description box if you are okay with that. I
Yes, yes.
hope.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not actually that much active. But I tried, I myself do not post, but I keep on via my LinkedIn account. I like go through other people's posts. I
Yeah.
even share, repost like job opportunities or vacancy posts if I get to
Hmm.
see. So that can be a very added bonus to people who are watching this right now. So.
Okay. So, as you have no experience with the private sector job, but let's skip that thing now. And but you have cleared you have cleared the GATE exam, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
you also have prepared for the CSIR. So, can you explain a bit how the CSIR and GATE works? With the atmospheric science or meteorology thing, and also what are the tips that you want to give of the student who are still preparing for this?
Yeah, yeah. So actually, I didn't really work for CSIR, to be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
had worked for GATE itself. So GATE XE, if one is trying to give GATE XE paper, engineering sciences paper, so one is the common part, which is the aptitude part. Then comes the math part, which is
Mm-hmm.
again the compulsory part.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes the optional papers. So we
Hmm.
have to opt for two optional papers.
Okay.
Uh, I had opted for thermodynamics paper and atmospheric sciences paper. So
Mm-hmm.
one can opt for atmospheric science and solid body even, or
Hmm.
maybe like fluid mechanics is there.
Yes.
I had applied for, like I had opted for thermodynamics and atmospheric and ocean sciences,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
one can choose the other options as well
Okay.
other than thermodynamics if one is interested in. And this is how the format of GATE works.
Hmm.
And now coming to CSIR, even though I
Hmm.
didn't uh, study that much for, but I
Hmm.
know the part how things work.
Hmm.
So the thing with CSIR is that the syllabus is very huge. One
Okay.
has to study the geophysics part, the
Hmm.
geography part, the meteorology, the oceanography part, as well as the solar system and all that,
Hmm.
physical geography, those
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
things,
Hmm.
geochemistry, this kind of things.
Geophysics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
geophysics, geochemistry,
Hmm.
one has to study for.
Hmm.
So that is a little bit, the toughness
Extra.
level is yeah, the toughness level is not that much, but
Hmm.
one has to study a lot of things
Hmm.
compared to
Hmm.
GATE.
Yes.
So GATE is that is why GATE is easier to crack than
Hmm.
CSIR-NET, because one has to study for a lot of things in CSIR-NET.
Hmm.
So section A is compulsory. Section B in there is that in section B, like little questions come,
Hmm. Hmm.
not from that much depth, but in
Hmm.
section C, from in-depth
Yeah.
questions come. So one
Hmm.
has to study for a lot of things. So
Hmm.
that is why it's a little bit difficult to crack CSIR-NET
Hmm.
in that aspect compared to GATE.
Yeah.
And
But.
if one is trying to study for GATE or NET, I would
Hmm.
recommend people to study that from the first year itself. In your MSc,
Okay.
while you're doing MSc, do not get
Hmm.
lag behind and do not think that once I wrap up my
Hmm.
masters, then I'll give my GATE or NET, because
Hmm.
the prime time to study for GATE or NET is along with your masters, because at that time you are studying and you have a variety of knowledge in different fields. And try not, like if you're trying to clear it, I think
Hmm.
that is the best time. Like even if it is, if you're not clearing it on it in the first attempt itself, keep trying on
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
first year, in the second year. So that is a very good thing that one should
Keep in
try to.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. as you have mentioned that we have lots of thing extra that that we have to read a lot while going for the CSIR exam. But do you also think that we have the different exam, the thermodynamics exam, and I think it's not more about the atmospheric science, it's something more about the physics. But although we have some part of thermodynamics in atmospheric science as well. So how do you think of this topic?
Actually, the thing is, I was confident in atmospheric science. Other than that, I had to choose for a easier paper to crack, whether
Hmm.
it's thermodynamics paper or fluid mechanics or a solid body.
Hmm.
But then yeah, yeah, chose the topic of thermodynamics. The
Hmm.
thing with GATE exit paper is that the thermodynamics that one gets to study in
Hmm.
BSc physics, that is a little different, because you have to study thermodynamics from an engineering aspect.
Yes.
So a
Exactly.
little bit of extra efforts one
Yeah.
has to put on,
Yeah.
whether it's the thermodynamics part, or whether it's the fluid or the solid body part. So one has to keep that in mind. But
Hmm.
if one is confident in fluid, then one can do, because a lot of common things are there which falls in the atmospheric science, like the Navier-Stokes equation
Hmm.
and like flows and all that thing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That is kind of common, so one can
Hmm.
study for that as well. But the thermodynamics, what one is trying to study in XC paper, is a little bit different from the BSc thermodynamics, and not really related with atmospheric thermodynamics, not at all related with atmospheric thermodynamics,
Okay.
but with engineering perspective
Mm-hmm.
thermodynamics engineering.
So have to read extra. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of atmospheric science exam of GATE and CSIR.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
always you have to read extra. Okay, so as the NET and GATE will comes by the hard work and consistency based on what I have heard, because I haven't cleared the NET and GATE exam till now. So, before that, maybe would you like to give some tips or trick, any kind of thing? Would you
Yes,
like to
yes.
add?
Uh, Last year's question is very important. But
Hmm.
the thing with in this paper is that earth science, whether CSIR, net earth science, or whether GATE, atmospheric and oceanic sciences,
Hmm.
what lacks is that a lot of content in YouTube or net, in
Hmm.
internet, is that you cannot get a lot of solutions.
Hmm.
So this extra effort you have to put it by yourself,
Hmm.
because in YouTube as well you cannot get any. You can get the, surprisingly enough, in
Hmm.
for gate, for XC gate you can get the
Hmm.
thermodynamic solutions, but there
Hmm.
is no solution for atmospheric and oceanography solutions. So
Okay.
that you have to keep in mind. But if one for gate, if one knows the pattern from
Hmm.
which part the questions are coming, if one goes to
Hmm.
the 10 years question, it
Hmm.
becomes really easy to crack the gate.
Hmm.
Same for the thermodynamics part as well, compared to the atmospheric and oceanography part. It's not that the level of questions is very tough, it's just that one has to know from which part the
Hmm.
questions are coming from.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
going through the previous year questions is really, really must.
Okay.
And yeah, and books that one can go through is that for dynamics one can go through Halton book, and
Hmm.
for normal metrology part one can go through Wallace and Hobbes.
Hmm.
It's a very good book, like it's a
Hmm.
very basic book, and everything, almost everything is there. Even it happens that many common things which are written on the
Hmm.
books in Wallace and Hobbes, that
Hmm.
question comes up in GATE. So Wallace and Hobbes can really help in exams. And
Okay.
yeah, so that is one thing.
Okay, I think we have covered all of things what we should have to cover to considering the MSc student of atmospheric science or meteorology or maybe the oceanic science. So we have covered everything, and thank you so much Shreyasi for being here and
Thank
discussing
you.
this much of insights from your experience, whatever you have grabbed. So thanks again, and
Yes,
maybe
yes, yes. I
we can
just have
have
a
a
message for you.
podcast
Yeah,
some
yeah, I have a message
times.
for you, is that
Yeah.
I, to the viewers who are seeing, uh, Anish has been my senior in Siuraj. he used to sit in that lane where I used to sit. He was a very like very kind and like very experienced senior. He had taught me things which normally I have not learned from any seniors. He's one of the best seniors that I've come across in my field, and he's very kind. Actually, you can like I have learned a lot of things in modeling perspective as well. In WRF, when I used to get stuck on how to solve the errors, he has always been there for me. And he now right now he is working in a different field, but at that time I have seen him working in lightning field. He is literally a master in that field, working in lightning hotspots, and he has a lot of experience in his pocket. So yeah, so thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Thank you so much for saying this much thing. It was really surprise for me now also that you
No, no,
said these things.
it's I really wanted to say that. Yeah, like you're one of the best seniors that I've come
Yeah,
across. So
it was my pleasure and it is my pleasure. And I will try to be like this. Thank you
thank
so much, Shreyashi. Have
yes,
a
yes.
good day. Bye bye. Thank you for this time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.